What's up, YouTube and fellow gamers? This is LM Bass Pro 16 or gamertag the Yo-Yo Slayer 18, and I'm here to describe to you a personally designed Skyrim challenge. Is Skyrim getting too easy? Do you knock out anything you face in one shot? Are you killing dragons with 3 shots? The problem's not the game's too easy. The problem is you broke the game. Now, this challenge I've designed is guaranteed no broken games, an actual challenge. Through this whole description, yes, that is a Call of Duty Ghost poster, horrible game, let's talk about that later. Like I was saying, this challenge is designed for hardcore gamers. You think you got what it takes? Keep watching this video. If not, there's the close button right up there. So, like I was saying, through this whole guide, we're going to be talking about every single rule that I've designed. And be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down there if you like it, or if you want to give me an idea for a new challenge to design, and I'll get right back to you on that. So, let's get started. Okay, so the first part of these rules is regarding magic in the game. In this challenge, your character can never cast a single spell. That's right. No spells may ever be cast unless quest required. I don't know at this point of any spells that are quest specific, but if there are, go ahead and use them. But no spells at all. No healing, no conjuring, no fury, no muffle, none of that stuff. Also, I know what you're all thinking, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to use enchanting to make my character ridiculously strong. No. No enchanting at any time, and no disenchanting at any time. You may not ever touch an enchanting table for any reason. If you have magical armor and you want to get rid of it, sell it. But you ain't disenchanting that. You're not using enchanting to boost your character's level. And the third rule of magic, all shouts are required. Or not required, they're allowed. All shouts are allowed for this character. Any single one of them. The armor and apparel rules of this challenge is not very strict at all. It pretty much speaks for itself, but just for the video purposes, I'm just going to go over it so there's no confusion. Pretty much any armor may be used. Heavy or light armor. Any armor can be used. Okay? Second rule, magical armor that is found or bought may be improved and worn. That's right, you can use magical armor if you find it. But as we stated in the last section, there is no enchanting. And the last rule for armor and apparel is the Dragon Priest masks. Now, these things are really powerful and really valuable, and they have some great enchantments on them. But like we just said, you can wear magical armor, so all Dragon Priest masks that are found may be worn. And that's pretty much all the rules for armor and apparel. The weapons section of this challenge is really, really straightforward, just like the armor and apparel section, so let's just get right into it. Any weapon can be used, magical or non-magical. Magical only if you find it, don't forget no enchanting. You can use a sword, a dagger, a mace, an axe, a battle axe, a warhammer, a greatsword, etc., etc., etc. You can use any kind of bow, any kind of arrow, and you can use the crossbows. Simple as that. Second rule for weapons, you may not use a staff. No destruction staffs, conjuration, illusion, none of those staffs, you can't use any of them. However, when it comes to the Daedric artifacts, all the Daedric artifacts can be used, including the Wabbajack, Sanguine's Rose, and the Skull of Corruption. That's pretty much weapons, really straightforward. In the perks section of this challenge, things can get a little complicated, so I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible, and hopefully the captions will maybe help you out a little bit. If you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me a message or comment. So, here we go. You may not invest perks in any of the magical trees, so you can invest perks in destruction, restoration, illusion, enchanting, conjuration, or alteration. Pretty much we said before you can't even use spells, and you can't enchant, so you can't even use those perks. Just thought I'd reiterate. The next skill tree you may not invest perks into is archery. Now, personally, the reason I took out archery is because if you're a warrior, I feel like archery is going to be a major skill, but it's also you're going to rely on your sword and your shield or your two-handed. And also, you can find enchanted gear that improves your archery skill, and you can also use the crossbow to give the power shot. So if you shoot someone with a crossbow, it makes them stagger every now and then. So pretty much the perk tree for archery is obsolete. Plus, I just feel archery is really kind of overpowered in this game. I feel like they should have nerfed it down a little bit, but that's just me. Archery, out. The last skill you can't invest perks into, I'm going to get a lot of crap for this. You can invest perks in alchemy. Now, this is due to that whole restoration enchanting loop. I know I said you can't enchant, so now, with alchemy, this takes overpowering your character down even more. So, you can't invest any perks in alchemy. However, if you want to invest perks in alchemy, you have to sacrifice the smithing tree, which I feel would be really stupid because there's some cool looking armor out there, and with the new DLCs, armors look awesome. So, but that's the rule. You can't invest perks in alchemy if you have perks in smithing, or you can't invest perks in smithing if you invested perks in alchemy. And the last rule is pertaining to the sneak tree. No, you can invest perks in the sneak tree, but with a limit. The first perk in sneak is stealth. This is a perk where you can invest 5 points into, making you harder to detect. In this challenge, you can only invest 1 perk point in the stealth perk underneath the sneak tree. The next rule for perks has to do with the perks in sneak. Again, you may not use the perks from the right side of the tree. These are the sneak attack perks for getting more damage if you are undetected with a one-handed weapon, a bow, or a dagger. You're a warrior, not an assassin, not a sneak expert. Out. The last perk rule I have has to do with that the last patch they came out, adding the whole legendary skills. You can only have 80 perks, so use like a program to plan out your perks, or when your character hits level 81, you pretty much hit all the perks you can have. I mean, with the whole legendary system, you can actually have every perk in the game, but the purpose of this challenge is not to have an overpowered character. That's just ridiculously overpowered. I wouldn't be sitting here if I was going to allow that, so only 80 perks. And that's all the rules for perks, so like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you on that. The rules regarding general gameplay have to deal with what your character can and can't do that doesn't have to deal with armor, weapons, or skills, and what the settings in the game have to be. So, let's go over these. The first rule I have is you have to complete the main quest until the completion of Dragon Rising. This quest is where you go kill the dragon at the Western Watchtower, which allows dragons to start randomly spawning around the country of Tamriel. So, if you're trying to walk somewhere or go somewhere, now you have some more danger that has to deal with. I don't like it when people just, will get Daedric or dragon armor, and then it's like, oh, I should probably go tell the Jarl about that dragon attack. No, do the quest first. This next rule is where people actually will probably shut this video off, but I pray you don't. You are not allowed to fast travel. If you have to get somewhere, walk, use a carriage, or get a horse. That's simple. Okay, you can be a werewolf, a vampire lord, or a vampire. You can be any of these 3 side characters, and you can have all the perks that pertain with them. Waiting is limited to 3 hours a day. So if you're trying to wait for a store to open and it's 9 o'clock that evening, you can't wait 12 hours to the next morning. Go buy a room in an inn and sleep. Which brings me to my next rule. This is going to be hard to enforce for console users, but if you're a computer user, this would pertain to you. You must sleep 6 hours a night, and you must have 2 meals a day. And a meal counts as a cooked item of 0.3 weight or more. Now, for the computer users, there's a mod for this. I feel you should put that mod in. I think it's called the Frostfall. I'm not sure if that's what it's called or not, but hey, you know what? If you don't have Frostfall, I'd put that thing on too. Okay, another rule. No followers at any time unless they're quest specific, like Serana or the companions. I feel people who use a follower, they can just make them do everything and they don't have to do anything. The game gets too easy, it's not as risky anymore. No. So, if you're doing Dawnguard, Serana is a necessary follower, so you can use her as a pack mule for a temporary time. Now, this does not mean you can get Serana and go start doing everything else. No, you have to be able to dismiss her as quickly as you can, or as quickly as the game allows you to do so. Now, these next rules add realism to the game. The HUD, or the heads-up display, must be 100% transparent, meaning there's no compass, there is no health bar, no stamina bar, and no magic bar. You pretty much will not see anything. If you think you're low on health, drink a potion. Here's a tip. You will know your health is low when your screen starts to turn red. You will know you're out of stamina when you start to pant. So, start listening. Your brightness must be turned down to 50%, or if you're a console user, get that mod that makes things darker. Simple as that. There is no subtitles, no floating markers, and turn off the crosshairs. So now pretty much all you see on your screen is just what your character sees. You see nothing else. So pretty much you don't know if you're hidden, you don't know if you're detected, and you don't know if you can steal something or not. This adds challenge to the game. The difficulty will remain on Adept. Now, Adept, because I feel it's balanced, and I feel that making the enemies do more damage to you in Master and Expert isn't really challenging, it's just annoying. So I feel having this is a lot more balanced. Plus, when you're at a higher level and you're going up against like 6 Draugr Death Lords at once, things start to get tough. Even on Adept, they still get tough. So those are the rules of this challenge, and oh, wait a minute, I forgot one last rule, and this is the most important rule of all. In this challenge, if your character dies, your character is dead. This challenge is a dead is dead challenge. So, one more time, if your character dies, game over.